Joining me now, Eboni Williams, Tammy Bruce, Lauren Leader-Chivee, and Lisa Boothe. Lauren, Hillary's your candidate. What did you make of the idea? She came out and she played the woman's card right out the gate. And a lot of people said she was reluctant to do it, but she came right out. She played the card right out the gate. Is that going to be her strategy going into the general election?
Well, I disagree that that's playing a card. She did, in fact, break a barrier that's never been broken before. It was a historic moment. I don't know how you don't acknowledge that. I think it was very personal for her. She also acknowledged her mother and the women who came before her. She spent her entire career fighting for women's equality, and for her it was an incredibly important moment.
She has been reluctant, though, to talk about it. Although she thought it would be a slam dunk for that particular group, she hasn't done as well so far as she thought and her party thought she would. So do you think that's where she's going to redouble her efforts, thinking that there's certain areas where Donald Trump is very strong, she won't be able to chip away at that, maybe she can get some traction there?
Well, look, I think unquestionably she has enormous support from women, and keep in mind that women are also the majority of the electorate, right? It's 76 million registered female voters compared to 66 million male registered voters. It is an absolute advantage for her. Will women vote for her just because she's a woman? Of course not. But it is an important and incredibly, historic milestone, and we should give credit for that where it's due. And I think regardless of your politics, the United States is 54th in the world in the political representation of women. That's unacceptable in a country that's built on equality for all. That's not a partisan issue. That's just a question of equality and fairness.
But doesn't it sort of lack equality when your message is vote for me because I am a woman, because I'm going to be the first female president? That's not equality. We should be voting for a candidate based off their merits, based off of what they're going to offer. And that's the problem with Hillary Clinton, because she's not had a campaign message up into this date. If you could, riddle me this, can you, in just a sentence, or not even a sentence, what is her campaign slogan? What is she fighting for? What is her campaign's message?
She's fighting for equality for all Americans, for a higher minimum wage, for a better quality of life, for a greater engagement with the world. It's not all over the place. It's called complex policy-based positions. It's not just one.
What voters are.
Here's the other thing, too, Tammy. She opens up an avenue of attack, though. If she wants to play this as a primary card for being in the White House, then she's got to prove that she's been a champion of women. And her relationship with Bill Clinton, her husband, and some of the shenanigans in the past could come back to haunt her.
Well, and we would expect them to with Mr. Trump and what his plan is, because nothing's off the table. But I do think it was historical, her nomination. She is the first woman, the first nominee of a major party to be under the investigation by the FBI. Also historical is that she has a former staff member who is pleading the fifth because he's afraid of being prosecuted for what he did when he worked for her. Those things are historical. I worked on their '92 campaign. Former president of the National Organization for Women in Los Angeles, sat on their national board. She's an embarrassment. It is a horrible experience to have this particular individual get the nomination. And as a woman, I do want a woman in the White House, but I want a woman who we can be proud of, who has not targeted other women for destruction, who has not left 4 people to die in Benghazi, who has not contributed to the fall of Libya, the Russian reset, the spread of ISIS. It is a horrible dynamic that a woman has caused this framework, and it's a shame that I can't support her, of course. Right. And I don't think other women in this country, they're not supporting her either, because it's about jobs and it's about the economy, and people are going to turn to someone who's had the experience in that regard, and it's not Hillary Clinton.
Eboni, she does poll a lot higher than Donald Trump right now among women, and I think that's the avenue she's going to try to go through, because I don't think she's going to get the white rural working guy that she openly applauded losing jobs in the coal industry.
Yeah, Charles, I have to agree with you there 100%. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We have two, I believe, of the most unpopular 2 nominees this country's ever seen. So I think strategically, Hillary Clinton would be smart at this point.
No one wins.
No. She would be smart, though, to go ahead and play that route, because it's something that maybe she can use to her benefit. And connecting some of the dots that Tammy laid out, when you represent an underrepresented group, whether it's black people in the case of Barack Obama or women now in the case of Hillary Clinton, and you are the first, that comes with a particular responsibility to do it the best way possible, because you are setting a precedent. Wait a minute now. But a woman has never done it. Hillary Clinton said it herself, right? She finished what Shirley Chisholm started some 30 years ago. So with that comes a responsibility to do it in a way that lays a very positive precedent for all of the people that will come after you.
And I get